Hey guys, good morning. I guess it's almost the afternoon at this point. I've already worked out, ate breakfast, started work, went to the coffee shop. I had a matcha, so I'm very jazzed with caffeine. But there's something I want to talk to you guys about, and so I'm gonna get changed to look a little more presentable. So we'll pick out my outfit as we figure this out. It's been nice out today. It's been rainy all week, so I'm kind of excited to wear something a little more summertime. And it's Friday, so it's basically the weekend, so we should show up and be cute. I'm working from home. I feel like I just want to wear sweats, but that's just, you're more productive when you look cute. So let's see what we got. Okay, we selected a denim on denim ensemble. So we got some Zara shorts. These are a bit oversized. And then this Ralph Lauren button-up little Canadian tuxedo moment. It's not like super warm, but it's like warm enough. I'll maybe wear a tank under that. So I'll switch into that, and then I'll tell you my thoughts, my hot takes. Okay, here's a little fit check, denim on denim. I've been liking doing just like the top buttons and then leaving it a little open. I think it's kind of cute, especially if you wear like a belt with it, but we're not doing a belt today. But yeah, this is kind of cute for the day. I'll maybe wear sneakers later if I decide to go out. Okay, so believe it or not, this is my third try. Hopefully my phone storage doesn't freak out on me. I just deleted so many memories just for you guys, so you're welcome. But so today I am talking about something that just like came up when I was listening to some finance content on YouTube. I like to listen to finance stuff. I find it interesting. I like to hear other people's perspectives and learn, and I just want to be taking care of myself for my future and be competent, because I know there's so much that goes into it, and you aren't taught this stuff in school, kids, so you got to get out there and listen and learn for yourself. So I was listening to a podcast that was pretty liberal, and it was just talking about how women aren't taught, I guess, in just normal culture, to believe that they can earn money, or they should earn money, or they should save, or should be thinking about finances, and that it's more something that's targeted towards men. And that kind of triggered something in me to be like, oh my gosh, that's literally my experience, but not just like the secular world, but more of like the world I grew up in, which was very Catholic, very conservative, very sheltered. And I love being Catholic. I love it. I love my life experiences. I'm grateful. But this is a mindset that I've had to change, and that I do find frustrating. And just listening to that lady, it really triggered some things that I just wish that I knew sooner, or other people, and I hope that other people might learn from my mistake, or just see a different perspective from someone who follows Jesus and loves him and is Catholic and wants to be a wife and mother someday, and works in the world and has a 9-to-5 in the secular world and has to pay for her needs and her living. So basically, I just want to talk about how, growing up in this Catholic culture that the world has at this time and age, where you're homeschooled maybe, or you go to Catholic school, maybe you go to the Steubenville youth conferences or a Catholic university that has focus, maybe you're in a young adult community, maybe you listen to a lot of Catholic content, or just have a lot of Catholics around you, which is great and good. You want great influences in your life. You want to be surrounded by people who are going to call you higher, and that is so important. I'm not dissing on any of that. I am just voicing my frustration that I personally experienced now on the other side of my 20s, of people telling me, don't worry about finances, don't worry about making a lot of money. That's not important. Money is not important. What is important is the mission and doing what you feel called in your heart. And 100% you want to do what Jesus calls you to do. And so I followed that advice. I had people in my life who my older brother gave me like a little solid, just like, have some savings. That is good. Have a safety. Don't spend outside your means. Some basic like finance advice, which was really great to make sure I'm not in crazy debt or anything like that. But as far as like aspiring to be successful or have a career that makes money, or to feeling like I should be getting paid what I like deserve for my skill set, or just, having a livable wage, where I can take care of paying off debts and my needs and having a healthy life balance. So yeah, I feel like going through all of those different groups in my life and experiences, I just kept hearing, it's about the mission, it's about what's on your heart. Don't worry about the money, and almost glamorizing poverty. And I feel like this is everywhere in the Catholic world. The Catholic ghetto, as our great Jen Fulweiler would say. Yeah, I feel like poverty is glamorized. And I feel like I felt like, oh, if I'm working for a Catholic institution, that's the right thing to do, even if it pays far less than a normal corporate 9-to-5 secular job. And I feel like people were like, oh, do missions, which is great, and there's a time and place for that, and some people are truly called to that. But you don't need money for a family. It's okay. It's actually like virtuous, something almost like, yeah, glamorize poverty, and like, it's fun to be scrappy. It's great to be scrappy. And I grew up in like a low income home where we were scrappy as F. And you know what? It's exhausting. And that's where my like obsession with listening to finance has come from, because I do not want that for my future. I'm done. All my 20s, I was scrappy AF, as the Catholic, vibe told me to be. And you know what? It's not fun. It's not making me holier. It's making me anxious about finances. Not that I was in, poverty, but I was taking these jobs. Like, my first job was at a Catholic organization, a nonprofit, and I was working at the bottom of the totem pole, customer service. But that job is not fair for the heart. You're talking to angry customers all day long, talking them down, trying to keep them as a customer, trying to make them happy. And this was my first job out of school, so I didn't know any better, but it was minimum wage, and I had a college education, college debt. I had to pay for rent. I, had to pay for groceries, all the things, and I had minimum wage in Colorado, which is an expensive place to live. And I had been there for a year. I was excellent at what I did. And they offered me a promotion of a measly $2,000 more. $2,000. And they talked to me as if this was the greatest thing that God could have given me. Like, they were like, we are so proud of you. We want to give you this promotion. You are so good at what you do. And I went in there and I was like, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to take this promotion that takes on more work for $2,000 when I have debts I'm trying to pay off, and I'm trying to be prudent about the debts and my responsibilities and living my life and trying to be intentional. And I don't want to be, eating rice and beans every night, breaking my back for this organization. And then them just kind of telling me, well, yeah, that's asking for a lot for more money. You got to take one for the team here. This is a mission, do it for the church. And this is like a director position, right, at this big organization that everybody knows. And I was mind blown that was what they were telling me, when they knew how much I was making. They knew the cost of living in Colorado. And they were like, just take it for the team. Take it for the mission. That's what we're here to do, the mission. Of course we're here to do the mission. I love the mission. It's beautiful. It's good. We're helping people and hopefully bringing people more to Christ, but at the expense of my well-being, excuse me. And this mentality I've seen it all through my 20s, all through my youth. And, another element of that was, don't worry about getting a serious job or career. You are going to get married and you won't have to worry about a thing. Well, I'm 30 now. I'm single. Now I'm behind because I haven't been pushing my career, because I was told, for sure this will happen for you. If that's what you want, it will happen. You know what? We don't know. And for all of you out there who are like, you know what, I'm definitely going to get married. That's what I want. Yes, of course, I want it too. But you know what? You do not know. You do not know what's going to happen, how life's going to turn out. And you got to fight for yourself. Fight for the life you want. And it's not wrong to want to be financially comfortable and well off and, successful. And I think it's almost like looked down upon in the Catholic world. It's almost seen as greedy. But you know what? All those nonprofits out there that are doing all the great work, you know how they stay open? Donors who have money, Catholic people who have a lot of money. So I don't think it's wrong to get out there and to work hard on your career and to get paid what you are owed so that you can live a comfortable life and be generous and feel comfortable financially to be generous and to take care of those you love because you are taken care of, your needs are taken care of financially. And I think that is great. And I think Jesus wants people to be wealthy. Like, hello, that's how, charities are run, through the generosity of wealthy people. So I think this fantasizing poverty crap, it needs to stop, and people need to wake up, get their little butts in gear, work towards a career, ladies. Doesn't mean you're a feminist. It means you are being smart and you're thinking about your future. You might be 30, you might be single till you're 30, 35. And who's going to cover your expenses and plan for your retirement if, let's say, a man never comes into your life and that's not what God ends up wanting for you? You are. So get it together. I'm sorry, I'm really heated up about this, but I'm 30 and I'm just annoyed that the messaging that I have received in the Catholic community has led me to this place. And I'm not saying I'm in debt, like tons of debt, or in a terrible place. Like, I have a good job, I like my job, but it's just frustrating that that wasn't a priority. And I get growing in your faith and virtue, and having community is really important, and that is a large part of your life. But you're spending most of your life working 9 to 5, and money enables you to do good in the world in a way that, it's difficult if you're coming from a place of stress and being frugal. I have been there, I know. So if you're thinking about taking a theology route or like a missionary route, that's great. If you want to be a missionary for the rest of your life, become a religious and do that. That's amazing, and God will bless it. But if you're planning on living in the world, having a family one day, or aspiring to have a family, or you're a man out there thinking, my wife will appreciate that I have a missionary heart, she'll appreciate your heart for sure. That's noble and that's admirable. But we're out here and it's expensive. And she wants a home. She wants her kids to be taken care of. I know what it's like to not have all of your needs met and to be penny pinching the F out of everything. And it sucks the joy out of life. It create stress around every single thing you do, thinking, can I afford this? Blah, 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 blah. And going into my adult life, being scrappy, I'm proud to say I'm scrappy. I think it's a good life skill, and I'm not saying there isn't a season to be scrappy, but like at some point, you need to put your big girl panties on and think about your career, think about your future, and push. It's not wrong to aspire to be well off and to be successful and to want a career. And for the men out there that are like, oh my gosh, no, that's not what I want, a woman who's successful or like career driven, I am not saying you have to be obsessed with your career. I'm saying you're putting the time in and working hard, because the future is not promised to you. Like, you're not promised a husband and a life that is easy and effortless where someone else is taking care of your needs. You are who's going to be taking care of you, most likely, for a while. And don't you want her to be taken care of, your future self? That's what I would say. Sorry, I was a little intense about it, but it's frustrating to me. And there's a lot of great Catholic content out there, but you just got to be careful, like, yes, your husband should be the protector and provider. I 100% agree with that. But you know what? Good men are scarce. Maybe he was in seminary and he hasn't found his path yet. If you have a path, or you have the opportunity, or you have the motivation, or you have the resources or the means to make good money, go and do it. You're doing yourself and your future family a favor, and there's nothing shameful or wrong about that. And you will be able to do more good because you have the resources. So this is someone telling you what I wish I heard. in my 20s and younger than that. So hopefully that's helpful. Let me know if this is anyone else's experience or it's just my personal experience that's just really got me fired up about, yeah, just how Catholics approach finances and how poverty is glamorized. If you are glamorizing poverty, become a religious. That's what they're there for. Go beg for your food and your housing, and that's beautiful. But if you're living in the world, why would you choose poverty? Why would you choose to be part of the lower class? You know, where you don't know how you're going to pay your bills. I just, you know, it's great to be part of a mission or a company that you're really passionate about what they do, and it's important to like what you do and to believe in what you do, for sure. But you got to push back and fight for what you deserve. You know, the cost of living is no joke, and you deserve to have a comfortable life. You don't need to be bougie about it. Like, obviously be smart with your money and prudent, but you should be able to be paying off your debts and be paying for a nice place to live that isn't falling in on itself. You should be able to pay for food and be able to be generous and be able to go out and enjoy life. And that's not anything to be ashamed of or timid about. Push back for the raise, push back for an increase in salary, and when someone offers you a job, ask for more money, because you know what? Your future self will thank you. Your future self will thank you. So anyway, I digress. That was a lot. But that's just something that's been on my mind and my heart, and just hitting 30 and looking back on my 20s, and now just like pivoting a little bit in my career, running my own business for a little bit, and now back in the workforce. You know, it's just a lot, like where I want to be in my life, like as far as like lifestyle and savings and, you know, all of that. Like financially, it's like you need to work a little harder to get there. I'm not there yet, and that's just frustrating. And I just look back and I'm like, I could have done more, but no one was pushing me. People were just telling me, you know, chill, you'll get married, or like, don't worry about a career, that's not important, do what you love, which is great until it's not, right? So anyways, yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments if you agree with my mindset, if you've had a similar experience. Maybe we can commiserate, and yeah, if you have any questions about my experience, maybe I can do another follow-up video. But yeah, that was just kind of my thoughts for today. Kind of just a random video. Maybe I could do a finance podcast at some point about how I budget and try to squeeze the best out of my my situation, and live life to the fullest on, you know, middle of the road kind of salary and stuff like that. I'd be happy to do it, but I appreciate you listening, and have a great day. Thanks. Talk to you soon. Bye.